we've literally played, like Grizz just said, a very high intense Bournemouth, a very high intense Newcastle because of the Isaac deal. And to be honest, they know how to play against us. They just come and try and bully. And then Arsenal, it's always intense against them. They're never going to want to lose to us. And they're going to come in and play the way they played. So at the end of the day, if you're judging this, you're judging him against three of the hardest games teams are going to get. And look at Spurs. Spurs found out they didn't even get a shot on target, or even forget a target. They didn't even get a shot against Bournemouth until the 67th minute or something stupid, or 58th. I don't know what it was, 60 something. But they'd won 2 games in a row, and everybody was like, "Whoa, Spurs won 2 games in a row. It's gone crazy." And then they turn up to Bournemouth turns up at their place in their ground, beats the living shit out of them. And you're telling us that we played poorly against Bournemouth. We won 4-2. So I just want people to know the 3 games we've had might be the hardest 3 games any team's had in the league.
I think there's a very good case if you look at the collective emotional vibes around each game. And of course, in terms of Newcastle and Arsenal being our direct rivals, Newcastle wanting to be our rivals, I think you have a valid point. I don't know if anybody wants to argue any other team's fixtures compared to us, but I think we probably on the whole have had the hardest opening 3 games. I mean, As I said, Bournemouth have gone on to prove how good their team they are, like you said, dismantling Spurs basically. Like my good friend from the Big Six, Toby, was saying that he was so impressed with Bournemouth, so impressed. And this was after Spurs had gone and crushed like that City. And everyone was waxing lyrical about Spurs and Thomas Frank.
Well, exactly. It's like they've all had, like, actually Spurs might have had, I mean, they played Burnley away, so it wasn't that. But those 2 games, City and Bournemouth, are tough games for Spurs. They come out with 3 points. You would have expected 6 points after beating City away. But it shows you how good Bournemouth look. And so I think we should be looking at this start of the season and saying, and actually let's convert to that because we do have a coverage of start of the season. We should look at the start of the season and say, this is unbelievable. A team that, and I know people hate saying it, and here it is with Coach Parker again. Coach is doing some great stuff on the chat. The Diogo situation in the first game, right? Tough. You saw Mo's state about the
emotion. That's what I mean about the emotional.
Yeah, you said the emotional stuff. So that was the first one. Then obviously Isaac and Newcastle, and then Arsenal being just right now they're looking favourites because we've been looking really poor, and basically it just I think if you look at the season back now, it's the first 3 games. That's an incredible 9 points for us. Very, very, very important 9 points. And I think what have we got next? Burnley, Atletico, Everton in the next week, 3 games in the week.
I mean, if you want to involve the Champions League, I get it. But again, my focus, some would disagree, but my sole focus is on winning the Premier League back to back.
Oh, yeah, I get it. But
I can't explain to you what it would mean to us.
I'll be honest with you. No, but I'll be honest with you. A game's a game now. They've building a squad. Every game's important. So you've got to use that squad. And it's Burnley, Everton, Palace, Chelsea. So yeah, but there's Champions League games in there as well. Big ones coming up, So Atletico's huge. Atletico's huge to play against. I think still somebody that we got to beat at the end of the day. So I think now Simon Brundish put something up on our Substack about 5 games in 15 days coming up. It's a lot. So I don't know. It's going to be massive. I think if we can get, where's Chelsea sit? Let's have a look. So I think by the time we get to Chelsea, and Chelsea's away, I believe. So it's away, home, away. Oh, maybe Chelsea's home. Is it away?
No, Chelsea's away.
Okay, so are we playing
Chelsea and Palace? We've got Palace, Chelsea, and the Champions League, 3 aways
in a row. Oh, that's really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough. Though that'll be a tough bunch, really. You're right.
But this is it. Do you remember how many times there was patches or phases of games?
Oh my God! Palace, Galatasaray, and Chelsea.
That's it.
Then United at home. Then it's the international break after that. So literally, we're playing 3 home games. So we got Burnley, 3 home games in a row. So we've got Atleti, Everton, Southampton, because that's Carabao. Then we've got Palace, Galatasaray, Chelsea away. So that's our 6-7 games in like what? Exactly.
So Southampton at home, Southampton at home,
Carabao.
the Carabao.
Yeah, Carabao.
So that's a total different 11.
Yeah, we can bin that one. Let's bin that out. So
Right.
Burnley, Atleti, Everton, then Palace, Galatasaray, Chelsea.
Yeah,
I
but
think,
do you remember last season? Where there was batches of games where opposition
yeah,
and media alike were looking at and saying, "Ah, ha, 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 this is where Liverpool's fairy story start, uh, fairy tale start, fairy story, fairy
mm,
tale start comes to an abrupt end," and how we
mm.
kept overcoming those situations. And I asked you to check. I don't know if you managed to check, but what was our record? People in the chat will be quicker. What was our record after the opening first 3 games going into the international break last season in Slot's first season? And who did we play
Let's have a look. I'll check
in
your.
comparison?
No,
I
I'll have a
know,
look.
I know Manchester United was one of them.
What, on the way afterwards or before? It was
No, the
afterwards.
first 3 games of the league campaign. First three games of the league campaign
Okay,
last season.
first 3 games were. Scroll all the way down.
Ipswich away.
Just getting there. 1 minute. Ipswich away. Then we
won
beat
1-0.
Brentford.
Sorry. Yep.
Then we beat Brentford at home. And then we beat United away. And then that was the gap then. Then when we came back from the gap, we lost to Forest.
But this is my point. People are saying, was it win-win draw? Wasn't it?
No,
3
no, no.
games?
Win, loss.
Yeah. Exactly. You're wrong. You're wrong, MK. It was win. So we had 3 wins. No, that's wrong.
Yeah, that's wrong. That's wrong.
Yeah. So we won opening 3 games, very similar to now. We went into the international break and we came back and we all, to a man, woman, dog, cat, microwave, expected us to beat Forest at home. And we buckled. Okay, similar scenario here, boys and girls. We come back and everyone is expecting us to smash Burnley.
No, I just can't see us losing to Burnley, bro. I just can't. I just can't.
I can't as well. I'm not sitting here bloody
What did
being.
Spurs do to them at home? What did Spurs smash him?
Yeah, but the point being, we have to focus. Like you said, every game.
Yeah, absolutely. No one should thingy.
Every game is on. Burnley will be up for that. They've had a terrible start to the season, an absolute terrible start. But again, we're everyone's cup final. We're everyone's major fixture of the season, regardless of their derby or their neighbours. When Liverpool, as Premier League champions, come to town, it's the game of the season. And that crowd, they're expected to get a boost from somewhere to kickstart this season. When I say kickstart, in the hope that they survive, this will be seen as the biggest scapegoat. And we have to be prepared for it.
I think the luckiest thing this time is that it's not a Saturday game and it's a Sunday game. So we get an extra day to prepare.
Oh, fantastic.
So the difference being now, this time, is that when we play Burnley, where is it? Oh, that's results that we got fixtures. I think it is Sunday. Yeah, 2 o'clock on Sunday, which is different. I don't think we've played on a Saturday yet. We've played Friday, Monday, Sunday, and now it'll be Sunday again. So yeah, I think we get the extra day this time. So it looks like Iketiki's on the bench for France. I thought they said they weren't going to pick him.
No, they selected him.
Oh, great.
Which is good. He gets more time to train. It improves his confidence levels. He feels part of a great club now. He's a big club now. He's mixing with the big dogs. Evening or afternoon Jatin as well, wherever the case may be in South Africa. It's Ekitike. I like that. I like his confidence. I don't know what you think. Have you seen you might have seen behind the scenes that, they have this joining up the French national camp where he's having a joke in a game. There's some stars in that French camp, and he feels part of being comfortable there, and I like that because that's only going to enhance him at Liverpool, where he's definitely part of a great club. and some massive, huge players. I don't think he's going to be overawed about the Isak signing as well. I think he's going to embrace it. And I think he's been obviously we've spoken about Wirtz's start to the season, and maybe we can talk about Ekitike's start of the season, the other major signing. We're going to go through the signings of the season so far. I think he's made the best start out of all of them. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, apart from the Arsenal game where he was on scraps, didn't get to do anything in that game, I don't think. But apart from that, yeah, I thought he's stepped up whenever he was required. It's going to be interesting. Again, you could see, right, Slot would have to take off Wirtz and Ekitike towards the end of the games because he just didn't have the options. Now, remember, people are like, well, we didn't sign a midfielder, we didn't sign a centre-back, how are we going to get options? Hey, when you add Frimpong and Bradley back to this squad, you do understand Dom then is free. Either he's in the team or he's on the bench. Curtis is free. You're going to have Ekitike or Isak on the bench. That's 3 players coming straight on to help when people are knackered, you know? And it's not a loss of quality. It's actually good players. So losing 2 players in one position affects us that much. We look really weak. And so, I mean, if Gomez is going to play anything like what he played the last 10, 15 minutes against Arsenal every week, then again, brilliant option. Frimpong, by the way, the speed that boy has. Well, once he's fit again, he's such a great option off the bench to come in and play. You know, so
I've missed him. I've actually missed him from a personal level. Obviously, the team hasn't missed him. We've won. But I really love the integration of Frimpong into the team as well. And obviously, with Bradley being unfit, it was a good chance for him to establish himself. And we'll go on to talk about the other new signing. But yeah, let's stick to sort of the ones we're talking about first. But yeah, you know,
I think he's done well. I think he gets even better because when you start playing against teams that aren't going to be so flipping gung-ho, not gung-ho, but intense as these games, and it's more of a style where we get to play our football, that's where I think we're going to get to see the real players of this, and that's where their confidence will improve, so that when we do get these intense games, they're going to actually step up then too even more. But I can't complain. Ekitike's got 3 goals, you know, in 4 games. How can you complain at all?
Mohamed Salah made some interesting comments and points about sort of him learning their game and integrating. He says we're still learning, and obviously that's obvious. But you can see Ekitike prefers drifting to the left far more, which is away from Salah, whereas Núñez would often go and join Salah more and integrate and mix with Salah more as well. I don't know if you know that Núñez used to make that internal run inside right where Salah would play him. So it's interesting, the contrasts and styles. But I've really enjoyed Ekitike's introduction to Anfield and Liverpool. I think he's really mixing in. The goals have obviously helped and some wonderful finishes as well.
Very good.
I think that side foot finish will be his trademark finish.
Very accurate. Very accurate.
If people remember, David Trezeguet had that finish down to a T. I think Ekitike has that finish down to a T. Different players. Ekitike is, I think, far more dynamic and makes more runs out wide and channels and everything else. Whereas Trezeguet was a predator in the penalty area, brilliant finisher. But that side foot finish is very, very. I can imagine it being trademarked by Ekitike. I think he's been the star of the newcomers, the new boys, and long may it continue. Obviously, the chat and debate will be now that Chaudhry Isak is here. How do we? I
want him to play. I want him to try be played on the left because I think Isak also drifts left, so Ekitike will drift central when he drifts left, and when Ekitike is left, Isak stays central. I actually think it's a very natural thing for both of them to start doing if they play together. And also, I want something different on the left as well. Gakpo is fine, and his production's great, but he's one trick. He's just going to cut inside, and also he hardly passes the ball to Kirkes on the overlap. He hardly passes the ball to anyone on the inside. All he's going to do is cut in and shoot, and he gets blocked, and then he makes a pass. And I think I know he scores 3 or 4 goals that way when he cuts in and scores some worldies, and so you can't complain. But there needs to be more to Gakpo's game. There needs to be more to his game, and so I would like us to try and play a Ekitike left and maybe rotate with Gakpo, and then Ekitike rotate with Isaac as well in the central. So I think we should try and do those moves across the 3 players there. They should maybe switch around a bit, or maybe those 2 at least, Ekitike and the 3 of them. So Ekitike can go to the central.
I've seen so many formations flying about, right? In terms of tactical approaches now that Isak and Ekitike have, and obviously far more learned and knowledgeable tacticos than me out there. But I don't know what you think, Gags. First time I've spoken to you about it as well, right? And I think for the first time in a long time, we have got, since probably when Roy Evans was in charge, don't you remember? I think we've got the best personnel to play this 3-5-2 or 3-4-1-2 formation with Wirtz behind the 2 strikers in a long time. Personnel. There's only one problem.
It'll never happen.
Mohamed Salah.
Well, the thing is, Salah will be one of the 2. That's what it will be if it happens.
Not Ekitike and Isak.
Not if we're going to a 2 up front. Salah's going to have to be one of the 2, bro. That's just the way it is.
So then maybe 3-3-1-3.
Who's that centre back? Who's the 3rd? Gomez.
Yeah.
And then who's in midfield? There's no width. Who's the width in this team? 3-3-1-3.
My initial idea. All right. So you've gazumped me. My initial idea was the width. I know
what you were doing. You were doing the wing backs, Kirkers, and Frimpong, 3 centre backs.
My initial idea was the wing backs being Kirkers and Frimpong, and the centre back, even possibly the way he's playing and the way he's been playing, Gravenberch as the 3rd central centre back. How he's progressing the ball and everything.
Yeah, because they'll turn into a 4-4-2 when we defend, and Gravel move forward a bit. Yeah.
It's options. It's absolute options. I'm not saying that that's how we should play, and that's the key to unlocking Isak and Ekitike. The problem, it's not, and it's a lovely, it's not, I say problem, but it's a beautiful problem, is what do you do with Salah?
Yeah, I just can't see a team without Mo, if I'm honest. So, I don't think it's an option. But, well, it is an option, but with Mo up top. Not without Mo. I just don't think he's going to play a 3-5-2. Just can't see a 3-4-1-2.
I think it's going to be different versions.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Because look, I'm trying to think long term, guys. Yeah, before people start saying, "Oh, he's kicking Mohamed Salah out of the team." Come on, if you guys know, I'm a massive Mohamed Salah bloody fan supporter. But what I'm suggesting is, if we look long term into the future, Mohamed Salah's only got a season left in him. Let's be honest, right?
Yeah.
Realistically, right? At the highest level that he's accustomed to. Wirtz behind Ekitike and Salah. Wirtz behind Ekitike and Isak is the future, right?
Must be. That's why they both spend so much money on them. Like, can't see why it wouldn't be.
So we've tried to, people, there's a lot of talk, and we're going to get onto sort of the salary placement and all the transfer talk. We'll get into that, people. I know people that probably wanted to speak about the Elise rumours, whatever. But we haven't tried to replace Salah for like. We've tried to replace Salah at the moment by buying 3 brilliant young attackers.
100%. In fact, Cy Brundish was putting this in. The team, what we've removed from an attacking perspective and also lost because of the tragedy, and what we brought in, we're 46 goal involvements up on last season. If you do them like for like last season, like what they performed. So Wirtz did what he did in Leverkusen, Ekitike did what he did at Frankfurt, and Isaac did what he did at Newcastle. If you bring them in and you replace them with who's gone out in terms of who we sold, we're 46 goal involvements up. There is method to the madness from what Liverpool have done.
There always is. There always is with us.
Yeah. So that's going to move on. We've kind of covered adaptation. Let's talk